The door slammed shut behind her like a gunshot in the dead of night, but it was her words that exploded in my chest, ripping through the fragile tissue of trust I'd clung to for 38 years. You owe me, Lena. Half of everything you've got. $150,000. Now. My sister's voice, sharp as a serrated knife, echoed in the dim kitchen of our childhood home, where the fluorescent light buzzed like a swarm of angry hornets. I stood frozen by the sink, the mug of cold coffee slipping from my fingers and shattering on the linoleum floor. Shards skittered across the room, one slicing into my bare foot, but the pain was nothing compared to the betrayal blooming in my gut. Hot, acidic, threatening to choke me. Sarah's eyes, those same hazel ones that had pleaded with me as kids when Dad's belt came down, now gleamed with something feral, entitled. She leaned against the counter, arms crossed over her designer blouse, bought with money she'd borrowed from me last year, never repaid. The air smelled of stale takeout and her expensive perfume, a cloying mix that turned my stomach. How had I not seen this coming? The late-night calls about her failing business, the hints about family sticking together. But this, demanding half my life savings. The money I'd scraped together from double shifts at the hospital, burying my dreams of a quiet life abroad under mountains of overtime. It was for my escape. My fresh start after Mom's death left us both orphans in a world that had already taken too much. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound that startled even me. Oh, you. For what, Sarah? For being the one who stayed. For paying Mom's bills while you chased your big breaks in the city. My voice cracked, fury bubbling up like bile. But beneath it, heartbreak clawed at my throat. She was my sister, my blood. We'd shared secrets under blankets during storms, promised to protect each other when Dad's rages turned the house into a battlefield. Now, she stood there like a stranger, her face twisted in desperation masked as righteousness. She stepped closer, her heels clicking like ticking bombs. You think you're better than me? Hoarding that cash while I struggle. Mom left the house to both of us, but you sold it without asking. That's my half you're sitting on. Anyways, Mom's will had been clear. The house to me because Sarah had already drained her accounts with loans that vanished into her endless schemes. But arguing facts felt pointless. This was about her greed, her refusal to face her own failures. I felt the humiliation burn my cheeks. How many times had I enabled her? The $5,000 here, $10,000 there, always with promises of repayment that never came. No, I whispered, then louder, no. Get out. The word hung in the air, heavy as lead. Her face contorted, shock then rage. She grabbed my arm, nails digging in like talons. You'll regret this, Lena. Family means everything. Or nothing. She stormed out, the door's slam vibrating through the walls, leaving me alone with the shards and the silence. That night I didn't sleep. Curled on the couch, the TV flickering mute shadows across the room, resentment festered like an open wound. How dare she? After everything, after I'd forgiven her affair with my ex, chalked it up to her impulsiveness. After I'd covered for her when she embezzled from her last job, swearing it was a one-time mistake. Obsession crept in, replaying her words on loop. I paced the creaky floorboards, the house groaning in sympathy, its peeling wallpaper a testament to years of neglect. Outside, rain hammered the windows, blurring the streetlights into hazy accusations. Was I the fool for believing in blood ties? Or was she the monster for exploiting them? By dawn, denial cracked. I wasn't just angry. I was humiliated, stripped bare. Fantasies swirled, confronting her publicly, exposing her lies to her circle of fake friends. But deeper, a cold resolve stirred. Revenge. The word tasted metallic, forbidden. I'd never been the vengeful type. Nursing had taught me empathy, even for the undeserving. Yet here, in the gray light filtering through grimy curtains, it felt justified. Moral conflict gnawed. What kind of person plots against their own sister? But what kind of sister demands your future as collateral? I logged into my bank app, fingers trembling on the screen. $300,000 stared back. My nest egg, built on sacrificed vacations, relationships, dreams. Half for her. Never. Instead I searched flights. One way to Bangkok. Exotic, anonymous, a place to vanish and rebuild. Blick. Book. The confirmation email pinged like a starting pistol. But as I packed a single suitcase, clothes smelling of mothballs, a photo of mom tucked in the side pocket, doubt whispered. Was I running? Or laying the groundwork for something darker? Sarah called 3 times that day, voicemails escalating from pleas to threats. Lena, please. I need this. You don't understand, debts, bad people. Her voice cracked on the last, a performance I'd fallen for before. Manipulation, pure and simple. I deleted them, heart pounding. At the airport, the fluorescent lights hummed overhead, the scent of overpriced coffee and jet fuel thick in the air. Travelers bustled, oblivious to my unraveling world. As I boarded, a text buzzed. If you leave, you're dead to me. Good, I thought, resentment hardening into steel. Let her think I've fled in defeat. But I hadn't. The ticket was a feint, a one-way to nowhere specific, yet. In the cramped seat, engines roaring like my suppressed rage, plans formed. Subtle at first. Track her online, dig into her secrets. She'd always been careless with passwords, sharing them in our sisterly chats. From a Bangkok hostel, amid the chaos of street vendors hawking spicy noodles and tuk-tuks honking, I'd watch. The humidity clung to my skin like guilt, but obsession drowned it out. What if I exposed her embezzlement? Or worse, sabotaged her latest scheme? Weeks blurred in the tropical haze. I rented a tiny room overlooking bustling alleys, the air alive with sizzling street food and distant temple bells. Mornings, I'd sip bitter coffee on the balcony, laptop open, hacking into her emails. Easy with our shared family account from years ago. Messages poured in. Creditors hounding her. A shady investor promising riches for her app idea. Heartbreak twisted anew. She was drowning, but instead of swimming, she'd tried to pull me under. Inner conflict raged. Part of me wanted to help, the old Lena surfacing. But resentment won. I forwarded anonymous tips to her boss about irregularities in her accounts. Quiet, strategic. No fingerprints. Tension built slowly. A call from her. Lena, where are you? Things are falling apart. Her voice, laced with panic, sent a thrill through me. Cold, unfamiliar. Thailand, I said flatly. Starting over. Silence, then sobs. Please come back. I didn't mean it. I hung up, guilt flickering like a faulty bulb. Was this revenge? Or justice? Fantasies evolved. Not just exposure but ruin. Moral grayness settled. She deserved it, didn't she? Back home, via a roundabout flight to avoid suspicion, I shadowed her. From a rented car parked across from her apartment, rain streaking the windshield, I watched her laugh with friends at a cafe, oblivious. The scent of wet asphalt mixed with my stale takeout, heightening the surrealness. Doubt crept. What if she was truly desperate? But then I remembered her nails digging in, her entitled glare. Resolve hardened. One night she texted. Found your flight records. You're back. Let's talk. Suspense coiled tight. Had I slipped? Heart racing, I ignored it, planning the next move. Subtle hints. An anonymous email to her investor, planting seeds of doubt with forged documents. Easy with online tools. Her world would crumble gradually like mine had. As part 1 ends, the slow burn ignites. I've set the pieces, but the real retaliation looms. Guilt wars with obsession. Am I becoming her? The air thickens with unspoken threats. Every shadow a potential unraveling. The city lights blurred through the rain-smeared window of my cheap motel room. A neon haze that mirrored the storm in my mind. It had been 3 months since Sarah's demand. 2 since I'd fled. To Thailand only to circle back like a vulture. Now, hidden in this dingy space reeking of cigarette smoke and regret, I monitored the fallout. The anonymous tip to her boss had worked. Subtly at first. An email chain I'd intercepted showed audits. Whispers of discrepancies. Sarah's replies were frantic. It's a misunderstanding. But I knew better. Her creative accounting was a house of cards. Obsession consumed me. Mornings, I'd wake to the distant wail of sirens, heart pounding from dreams where I confronted her, fists flying in a cathartic blur. Reality was colder. Sipping lukewarm tea from a styrofoam cup, I'd refresh her social media. Posts dwindled. Gone were the glamorous selfies, replaced by vague pleas for positive vibes. Resentment fueled me, but guilt gnawed deeper. What if this pushed her over the edge? Mom's voice echoed in my head. Family forgives. But forgiveness felt like surrender, and humiliation still burned. Her demand had stripped me of dignity, reduced me to a atom. Dialogue with myself raged in the mirror, my reflection hollow-eyed. You're justified, I'd whisper, but doubt sneered back. Planning escalated. I rented a burner phone, voice disguised through an app. A call to her investor. Check the numbers. She's cooking the books. Click. No trace. Sensory details sharpened the tension. The phone's plastic cool against my palm, my breath shallow in the stuffy room where the AC rattled like bones. Sarah reached out again, a voicemail trembling. Lena, I know you're behind this. Please stop. We can fix it. Suppressed rage in her tone. Finally, she felt the fear I'd swallowed. I deleted it, but heartbreak surged. We were kids once, sharing ice cream after Dad's storms. Now this. Moral conflict peaked. Revenge tasted sweet, but at what cost? Fantasies darkened. Ruining her financially wasn't enough. I wanted her to feel the isolation, the betrayal. I trailed her to a bar one evening, the kind with sticky floors and dim bulbs casting long shadows. From a corner booth, nursing a flat soda, I watched her argue with a man. Tall, slick, probably the investor. Their voices cut through the jukebox's twang. You promised returns, he snarled. It's coming, she pleaded, hands gesturing wildly. Just need more time. He stormed out, leaving her slumped, tears streaking her makeup. A pang of guilt hit. Cold resolve wavered. Was this me? Destroying her? But as she left, phone in hand, texting furiously, anger reignited. I followed at a distance, the night air crisp with autumn chill, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle secrets. She entered her apartment, lights flicking on in sequence. From the shadows across the street, I hacked her Wi-Fi, password unchanged since our shared days. Cameras. None, but her laptop cam sufficed. Remote access revealed files. Forged invoices. Hidden debts totaling $200,000. Worse. Emails plotting to sue me for the house proceeds. Claiming undue influence on Mom. Fury exploded white-hot. She'd planned this all along. Denial shattered. No more doubt. Planning intensified. Expose it all. But subtly a slow burn. I created an anonymous blog, Family Frauds, posting snippets, redacted but damning. Links shared to her network via fake accounts. Tension mounted, her calls increased, voice cracking. Lena? Is this you? Stop please. I'm sorry. Sorry. Too late. In a coffee shop, steam rising from my mug like ghosts of our past, I met an old friend. Hers, not mine. Casual chat planted seeds. Heard Sarah's in trouble. Careful. Word spread. Her world contracted. Friends ghosted, job offers vanished. Climax brewed. One stormy night, thunder rumbling like judgment, she showed up at my door. Uninvited, soaked. Lena! She banged, voice muffled. I opened it a crack, chain latched. Her eyes wild. You did this. Why? Dialogue crackled with tension. Because you tried to take everything, I hissed. My savings, my trust. She sobbed. I was desperate. Gambling debts, bad choices. Revelations poured. Addiction, lies piling up. Manipulation exposed but layered. Her own pain, Dad's abuse twisting her. Heartbreak clashed with resentment. Get help, I said, slamming the door. But inside obsession peaked. Final act. An anonymous tip to authorities. Embezzlement evidence forwarded. Police involved subtly, investigation brewing. Twist. Days later a knock. Cops, but not for her, for me. Hacking allegations. Sarah's counterplay. She'd traced my digital footprints, turned the tables. In the interrogation room, fluorescent lights buzzing, sweat beading, I realized. Revenge had blinded me. She sat across, eyes cold. Family means everything, she echoed, a mocking twist. Poetic justice. We both lost, arrested, exposed. In the cell's chill, guilt flooded. Obsession had made me her mirror. Freedom came with probation, but the bond shattered forever. Unexpected consequence. Therapy revealed our shared trauma, a path to uneasy peace. But revenge's scar lingered, a reminder that betrayal begets only echoes.